Hi guys, welcome to yet another edition of Spice and Vibes on Social Banter. We appreciate your contributions, we appreciate your comments, we appreciate all that you have been doing. So today, let's just dive into the topic that we have. Today we'll be discussing the issue of our communal living as Africans, and it is something that binds us together, that creates and promotes that bonding, among families, among friends. So we are going to be talking around this. And here with me today, I still have my friend Sheye. So Sheye, let's just go straight into the matter. What do you have to say to that?
Well, a lot of things are getting eroded, and I think we're all guilty of it. If in the real sense of it, I think we're all guilty of that for now because number one, the work lifestyle has changed so much that practically we live this life up to your tent or Israel. In fact, it's not just about your relationship with our relationship with the elderly ones, as you mentioned, or our siblings. In fact, between couples, husband and wife, even between children and the parents,
Hmm.
we are. The reality is that we are every single day we are getting drawn apart from one another. Are you getting me? So
Yeah.
it's something that is so deep.
Mm,
Uh, I remember the kind of parents, the kind of relationship I had with my parents growing up. By if I leave school by 2 p.m. or okay, if I go to extra for extra license by 4 5, I will meet them at home. You
mm,
understand? I'll meet them at home. We will talk. But these days, once it's 6:37, when my children's school bus picks them from school,
mm,
uh, in fact, at times we might not get to have any conversation
mm,
because by the time dad is coming back home,
mm,
the children are already sleeping.
mm,
And it's actually something. Well, it's the world is evolving by the day, but I really do not think I'm not too comfortable with us losing that because losing such, we tend to get caught off. In fact, this is one of the reasons for so many failed relationship and marriages we talk
mm.
about these
Yeah.
because a lot of people, the time to actually communicate is not there. We are all looking for
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind you, money is very, very important, especially for us in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Money is actually important, and it is not actually not so easy to get by. But would we place them side by side and say, okay, I don't want family, I want money? You understand? So it's actually worrying, to be very, very honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
If,
Let me ask this question in continuation of that. Um,
okay.
I do you think there is a role that technology plays in this? Because when we talk about our sense of communal living, maybe in those days, if you want to get something in the market, you go to the market, you buy things. From there, you meet people, you make friends, you understand, you build relationship with people, or maybe you go to the library as a young person. I remember when I used to go to the state library in my state there, and I'll meet people that will read together, that will share ideas, and we do all of these things. But these days, things like that are no more there because if you want to check, you can check anything online. If you want to study, you can check anything online. Even if you want to buy things, you can just order things online. You are just on your bed from from morning till evening. You are sending others, people are delivering in your house. You are not meeting anybody. Don't we think technology play a role in this?
Yes, definitely technology has some role to play in this. But on the flip side, the irony of it is that technology even gives you opportunity to talk to more people than you've been talking to.
But
Pre
virtually, yeah.
yes,
Virtually, yeah.
pre-social media days. After for somebody like me, I schooled in about 3 different states. I started in Oshun, later on Ibadan, and later on I moved to Ogun State to finish my secondary school education, then Ondo States for my university. And if you look at it, in those four different areas, I lost a lot of contacts of my secondary school, of my primary school mates, those in GSS and those in SS class, because
Yeah.
I had to move down. I have to move away from that state. So, but one thing technology did was to bring a lot of us back.
Back. Okay.
Yes. So it's not like we are not talking. These days, we are actually talking to more people than we've ever talked to. You're in
Yeah.
the day WhatsApp group, Facebook group, and you understand when Facebook and the rest, when they came on board, especially Facebook was the first to come. After Facebook came, we were able to reconnect with so many. In fact, there are some people that if you had naturally asked me before this, sorry about that,
Yeah.
before the social media days, before the so-called technology came into being, I would doubt. In fact, when you've crossed your mind that I may never really see this person again,
This person again. Yeah.
besides possibly, okay, we get employed in the same organization, but that doesn't always. It doesn't even always work that way,
Mm.
because how many people, except you are, in fact, I don't know that organization that can employ like 100 of you in the same office space. You understand? Even Chinese factory will not do that.
Mm.
So actually, the technology is actually meant to bring us more together. A lot of my friends that a lot of my friends that we communicate regularly. Physically, I've not set my eyes on some of them for over 20 years now. But because of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, we do communicate and video calls. You understand? So I wouldn't want to blame technology. I think there is uh, this westernization and capitalism. I think those are the two things that I will, if I am to blame anything, is the western, because the whites don't really live that kind of communal life. You understand? And when they brought in their how do I put it now? When their own work ethics was actually foisted on us. You understand? And we as a nation, we took in capitalism hook, line, and sinker. And capitalism, the best way to describe it is survival of the fittest. So, and when you have to survive, by all means, some definite things will have to go for it. And number one that has been suffering that thing is the family or communal relationship that we've been talking that we are talking about
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
That's my first guess that example that I know. In fact, my dad was a teacher and later on moved into full Christian ministry. And I can assure you of this. In fact, when he moved into fully into Christian ministry, I had more access to him than even when he was a teacher. As a teacher by
Yeah.
force by fire,
Yeah. Yeah.
you must be in the school by, let's say, 7:30, then till 2 or 4.
Yeah.
But when he went into full-time ministry, depending on what service and what things look like, as
Mm.
early as 9, 10 in the morning, I can actually see him.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, let me tell you one funny story. My dad had to stay with me at a particular time, and we were always clashing.
Mm.
Not on any other thing, but on the
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
when he checks time and the time is reading 5:36, he'll start calling. Che, where are you now? You are supposed to have closed by now. Which kind of office? You understand? And one day I just
Yeah.
have to tell him, Daddy, don't worry, I am safe. Don't worry. As you can see, my wife usually closes before me. I said, as you can see, my wife did not complain. And the reason why she's not complaining is that she understands the
The
nature
nature of it. Yeah.
of my job. I said, you can't, don't worry. That 5, 6 that you talk about at times is when I just start working because of the nature of what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is when I just start working. Said you might see me, and one day I came in around 9 and it could not contain. I said, Daddy, don't worry. Said, even at times, this night that I'm coming in, I've seen days where I had to leave home by 9 to meet up an appointment somewhere around 10.
Mm.
So there are people that are too busy during the day that if you want to talk to them, the most relaxed time is when they are chilling at night. I said, so, and at the end of the day, we had that. Yeah, so in fact, he went to report me. The funny thing, the funny part, he went to report me to my elder brother, one of my elder brothers. And when he was talking to that one, coincidentally, he was still in his own office too.
So, what kind of
And,
judgment would that person now pass? Hmm.
and it was like, Cheye told me that he's a marketer, like I come in at any time, and blah, 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 blah. Talk to him, and he said it to Baba Soro. Ah. And my brother was like, ah, kí ni mo fẹ́ bá sọ báyìí because èmi fúnra mi ṣì wà lọ́fíìsì. That's in English. What do I
Yeah,
tell him
yeah,
when I myself am still in the office and I don't even know when I want to leave?
yeah, yeah.
You
So,
understand?
yeah, yeah.
So for such, so the structure of work and the fact that we embraced, especially for people working, for most of us are private, either as an entrepreneur or as an employee in the private sector. What the private sector is designed to do is profit making.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
capitalism does not care where the profit is coming from. Profits must be made. I have a boss that will tell me,
Modeling.
whatever happens, the job must be done.
Yeah.
So I would not blame technology. In fact, technology gave us, we were almost driving crazy. To me, technology gave us a kind of, what do you call it, speed break.
Okay, let me take it up from there. Of course, I
All right.
understand what you mean. Of course, I'm a computer scientist, so I understand the role of technology in our day-to-day living. Technology has a lot of advantages that it offers us beyond, the disadvantages which that are also there equally. But what I'm trying to talk about in the area of technology, like the role that technology plays in this gap that is being created in our social lifestyle or our social living, is that maybe from the area of consumer behavior, the way we relate with technology. Okay, now you said something the other time that your friends that you have not spoken to for more than 20 years, you if not for technology, but then I realized that that is good. But in a way, if we want to study it psychologically, we realize that it is it creates communication, it doesn't create enough bonding. You know that you are talking to people does not mean that you bond. Okay? Unlike when you are physically, and I'll give you an example. Something has been happening in our social space, in recent times that it really, breaks my heart. For example, when they say an accident has occurred and so number of people died or something happened, maybe there is this insecurity issue somewhere and they killed some people. So people just pass comments on social media like, oh wow, you understand? There is no connection. Maybe because number one, they are not related to those people, or number two, because they just see everything like, okay, it's like you're watching a movie. You know it's a movie, okay? And that's because you are connecting via the screen. So people are living their life not in reality. They are living it in a virtual reality kind of form, such that to embrace reality is very difficult for them. To bond with people's issues, is very difficult for them because they realize that everything is just, they don't have this connection with people. They are always on their phones, relating with people. They are not communicating with people, physically, to see their expression, to feel, to you understand what I'm trying to say. So I think the
Yes.
psychological effect, is there based on the consumer behavior, the way we consume technology, the way we interact with technology, that has taken us away from our dear ones. Now I'll give you another example before maybe I throw a question. I was telling you earlier that my elder sister that we went to primary school together, we went to high school together, and for 2 years we might not talk now. We were the closest, growing up. But right now, for 2 years, we might not even talk, and it's not like we had any or we are having any issue, but it's just like that. And it's not just about technology. I'm just talking about our social lifestyle, which you have pointed out the other time. Like, okay, maybe our work constructs, the way we work and all those things. Capitalism and people, trying to sort out their lives and all that. But you know, how can we begin to see how these gaps can be bridged in our social space, such that we can conserve our cultural values as Africans?
Very valid points you made there. But let me digress a bit before I try to get an answer to that question.
Okay.
Most of these anomalies we see on the social media, they did not just start today. In fact, they did not start with technology. I will say technology is just an amplifier
Yeah.
of our failing value system or our failing culture.
Mhm. That's the main thing. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Something is wrong.
Mm.
A lot of comments these days, just like you mentioned, especially on X. I think Facebook has a way of filtering comments, and so the the bitter boys and girls are not that much on Facebook. Um, you can see, in fact, when some people comment about certain events, then you know that this person did not grow up in quotes as a human.
Mm.
And how do you grow up as a human? A senior friend of mine was we were in a discussion last week, and it was like, how do people train their children? And it was like, there are things you dare not do in my parents' house.
Mm.
And I have also taught my children not to do such. Something as simple as a brother or a sister or somebody around you tripped and fall.
Mm.
And the next thing is you are laughing.
You're
Said, if you
laughing.
try
Mm.
that
Mm.
with my parents,
Mm.
with our own parents, not my parents, I think I have a similar this
Mm.
thing upbringing too. That the kind of punishment you will serve, you will have preferred that you are the one that fell. You
That's
understand?
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Because for something bad to happen to someone, and the next thing is you want to joke about it, it actually
Mm.
speaks a lot about you as a person. That's why
Yeah.
I would not want to totally go with the technological this thing. Technology is, to me, is just an amplifier of a societal failure.
Mm.
So, and it is because of this um, get rich by all means, no
Mm.
matter, I don't
Yeah.
want to sound like a politician, but when we are talking about all this corruption and the rest, if you need to steal what is meant for, like, let's say 200, 300,000 people, and you amass it to yourself, you've definitely killed so many people. So you can't be living such life, or even the younger ones that would not mind swindling somebody they've not met before.
Mm.
Because failure has started somewhere. So are you
Mm.
expecting that kind of person to have human feelings? So what has actually left us is humanity.
Mm.
To be my own
Yeah, yeah,
point, my own.
that's really, yeah, that's really vital. That's the vital
So
point.
what is leaving us or has left in most cases is humanity. So technology is just there to amplify. It's just, technology just like computer now, garbage in, garbage out. What is the solution? The solution to me is that the family units needs to rise up to their responsibility.
That's very good.